Good morning, children. How are you all? Hope you all are fine. Children, in the last video, we had discussed alpha, beta, and gamma emission, and I have explained you the uses of radioisotopes in detail. Okay, children. Now, in this video today, I will explain you sources of harmful radiations. Children, there are three main sources of harmful radiations. Harmful radiations can be alpha, beta, gamma, X-rays. It can be any harmful radiation. The reasons, the sources are broadly classified into three sources. See what is the first? Radioactive fallout from the nuclear power plants. That means if something happens in nuclear power plants, if it burst and something comes out from that, accidentally it comes out, it will come into this category. The next is nuclear waste. Nuclear waste, that means after sometimes what happens in nuclear power plants, in reactors, the rods which we are using, the radioactive rods, after some time of using, they become not useful for producing the electrical energy. That's why what the people are doing working there, they simply throw the waste. So that is coming under nuclear waste, children. And the third main source is other sources such as cosmic radiations and X-rays. One by one we will discuss each in detail. First we will discuss about radioactive fallout from the nuclear power plants, children. See, children, the nuclear power plants are now a major source of electricity in the world. Majorly electricity is produced by nuclear power plants. If somehow there is an accident in the reactor of a power plant, then what will happen? A large amount of radioactive materials and radiations will escape out, will come out into the atmosphere. If that nuclear power plant bursts or something happens accidentally, everything, the radioactive substance as well as the radiations will escape out from that nuclear power plant. And this will affect what? This will not only affect the population around the plant, but will also affect the life at far off places where they will reach due to air currents. It is not like that if something happens in Japan nuclear power plant, if it like burst, then it is not like that it will only affect the Japan. It will go to other countries as well, because due to air currents it will spread. Okay, it will affect other countries and other parts also. Okay, now, these accidents caused damage to the reactor buildings and injuries to the persons working in the plants as well as to the persons in the vicinity. Okay. Now, second is nuclear waste. What is nuclear waste? I already explained you the fuel rods used in the nuclear power reactors are rejected sometimes when their activity decreases. When they are not able to produce a good amount of electricity, what happens? They are rejected due to their decreased activity. Okay, then they become a nuclear waste. These rods are still radioactive and they are able to emit alpha, beta or gamma radiation in some amount. Okay, so if they are not dumped properly, if we are not going to dump them properly in a proper place and we are simply like throwing them in the open garbage, what will happen? They will spread radiations, they will keep on emitting radiations into the atmosphere and they will become the sources of harmful radiation. This is the main source of harmful radiation. It will affect more. Next is other sources such as cosmic radiations and X-rays, children. The cosmic radiations enter the atmosphere, Earth's atmosphere from the sun, okay, and from the outer space. They contain a large number of high energy particles. High energy particles like gamma particles, beta particles. Cosmic radiations are containing high energy particles, due to which what happens? They are affecting us. They are affecting plants, animals and human beings. Okay, and many rays are of these radiations are harmful for human beings, children. Okay, now next topic to discuss is harmful effects of radiation. We are going to discuss only about the biological effects. What are the biological effects of harmful effects of radiation? Biological means on the human body or on the plants or on the animals. Okay, so harmful effects of radiations. There are three types of biological effects caused by the radiations, harmful effects. First is short-term recoverable effects. Short-term is for a small gap of time it will affect us and it can be recoverable. We can recover from these types of effects. Okay. Then next is long term or irrecoverable. We are not able to recover from the biological effects which are long term effects. And next is genetic effects. These radiations can cause genetic effects also. Okay, they are the sources of genetic mutations. One by one we'll discuss. First we'll discuss is short term recoverable effect. What are the short term recoverable effects, children? See, the first and the second effects are limited to the individuals. See, short term and long term are only limited to the individual, but these genetic effects are not limited to individual. It will pass on to the next generation. If a person is affected by short term effect, then only that person is affected by that. Likewise for the long term case as well. But if a person has genetic effect of the radiation, then what will happen? That person not only will get affected by that radiation, its generation, next generation, after that next generation will also get affected because of these harmful radiation, children. Okay, first is what? The exposure to radiations can be acute if there is an accidental burst of radiations from an unshielded source. Similarly, it is chronic in case of persons working in atomic energy establishments when they get exposed to such radiations. Okay, the exposure to gamma rays. Gamma rays has highest penetrating power. So when a person get exposure to gamma rays, what happens? It destroys the cells of the body. Okay, and affects the blood cells, gastrointestinal tract, reproductive and hair cells. It can harm the DNA and RNA. Children, see, when DNA and RNA get affected, then it is called a genetic effect, okay, of the living cells. Okay, so these are the three short-term recoverable effects. Short-term recoverable effects, long-term irrecoverable effects, and genetic effects. In short-term recoverable effects, like we have diarrhea, then loss of hair. These are recoverable. We can recover from all these effects. Okay, diarrhea, loss of hair, and sore throat. All these comes under short-term recoverable effects. While in long-term effects, what are the long-term effects? Like leukemia. Leukemia is a type of a blood cancer which is due to the effect of these radiations, and other types of cancers also. Leukemia and other types of cancers. All these are the cancers which are long-term and irrecoverable. The recovery rate is very, very less in long-term effects. And the genetic effect, I already told you, that when DNA and RNA of a body get affected, then it causes genetic effects. Okay, children. Now, the next topic to discuss is safety precautions while using nuclear energy. Now, what are the safety precautions which the people working in a nuclear power plant should take? See, children, first of all, we know that the world's electrical energy is mainly produced in nuclear power plants. In a nuclear power plant, a radioactive source such as uranium-235 or plutonium-239 is used, children. See, in nuclear power plants, what we are using? Radioactive material, radioactive substance, U-235 or plutonium-239 we are using. Okay. While producing electricity from these radioactive substances, the following aspects require special care. First of all, what special require? First step, what require care? Establishment of nuclear power plants. What are the things which you have to keep in your mind while establishing a nuclear power plant? What are the points? I will discuss one by one. While establishing a nuclear power plant to generate electricity, following precautions must be taken. First is what? Ensure that people working in it are not exposed to nuclear radiations. Okay, that means the people which are working inside the nuclear power plant, we should ensure that they are not exposed to nuclear radiations in any case. Okay, next, the nuclear reactor of the power plant must be shielded with lead and steel walls. Now, for example, it's your nuclear power plant. It should be shielded with lead and steel walls. Okay, it should be multi-layered. so that the radiations which will come out are not able to move out from this plant, which is shielded by many layers of lead and steel, children. Okay. Next, the nuclear reactor must be housed in an airtight building of strong concrete structure which can withstand the earthquakes, fires and explosion. Okay, it should be like if you have a nuclear power plant, if you are constructing, it should be made in such a way that it can easily withstand with earthquakes, fires and explosions in it. Okay, if it will burst, what will happen? The radiations will come out and the radioactive substance will spread out. Okay, next point is what? There must be a backup cooling system. Look class, in every nuclear power plant we have cooling systems. Whenever that nuclear power plant get heated to a very high temperature, we have the system of cooling it again and again. Okay, so for cooling what we require? Water. So we must have a backup cooling system in a case when one cooling system is not working properly, we can have the other cooling system. Okay, so in every nuclear power plant we should have a backup of cooling system for the reactor core, so that in case of failure of one system, the other cooling system could take its place and the core is saved from overheating and melting. Otherwise, if it will overheat or melt, what will happen? It will burst and again accident can occur. Next point is what? Safe handling of radioactive materials. How to handle radioactive materials? Look class, people working with radioactive materials are required to follow strictly safety measures, which are what? First is what? They should put on special lead lined aprons and lead gloves. Without aprons and lead gloves, they are not allowed to enter a nuclear power plant. Now what is the why they are given lead lined aprons and lead gloves? Because through lead the radiations cannot enter in their body. Okay, lead is able to stop the radiations outside of the body itself. Next, they should handle the radioactive materials with long lead tongs. If they have to pick up some radioactive substance, they should not directly do it with the hand. Instead of that, they should have a long lead tong. Okay, so that they can pick up or pull the radioactive material from that tong only. Next, the safety limit for each type of radiation is known. Therefore, care must be taken to ensure that no one is exposed beyond the safety limit in any case. How do we know that if a person is having how much radiations inside his body? Okay, if it is exceeding or not the safety limit. How we are doing? We are putting a badge on the lead lined apron on their body. From that badge only we are getting to know how much radiation that person is facing. Okay, for this special film badges are used which are tested from time to time to know the amount of radiations to which a particular person has been exposed inside the nuclear power plant. Okay, now how a radioactive substance should be kept in that power plant? The radioactive substance must be kept in a thick lead container with a very narrow opening. There will be a very narrow opening so as to stop radiations coming out from other direction. If it has a broad opening, then the radiations will come out more. So it will have a very narrow opening so that the radiations will not come out from the other directions. Okay. Now the third point is what? Safe disposal of nuclear waste. Now if we have nuclear waste from the nuclear power plant, how we should dispose it? How we should dump it? How we'll do? Sorry. Now it is safe disposal of nuclear waste. What happens, children? The radioactive material after its use, when its activity is decreasing, then it will become a nuclear waste. Now, the nuclear waste obtained from laboratories, hospitals, scientific establishments or power plants must be first kept in thick casks or boxes, and then they must be buried in the specially constructed deep underground stores. We cannot throw them anywhere in the open garbage. How we have to dispose the nuclear waste? First of all, we have to put them in a thick cask or a lead cask, and then we have to bury them in a specially constructed underground stores, or we can throw them or bury them in the mines which are not in use, and then we have to shut the mine as well, okay, because the radiations can come out, and we have to bury them very deep inside the earth, okay. So this way we are going to dispose the nuclear waste. Now the next topic to discuss is what, children? Background radiations. Now what are background radiations? Background radiations are those radiations such as alpha, beta and gamma to which we all are exposed. It is not like that everyone is safe from those radiation, to which we all are exposed even in the absence of a nuclear waste or nuclear a radioactive source. If there is no radioactive source, still we are exposed to some radiations. Those radiations are called background radiations. Now there are two types of background radiations. First is coming under the source of internal source. There are two sources, internal sources of background radiation, and next is external sources. Okay, now what are internal sources, children? See, internal sources such as potassium, carbon and radium is already present inside our body, okay. So these radiation, few radioactive substances are present in our body. For example, C14, carbon is present inside our body. Likewise, potassium in our bones, it is present. K40, it is also radioactive. And next it is radium. Radium is also present in our body, children. So these are the internal source. Is already radioactive substance is already present in our body. That means yes, in the human body these are present. Okay. So these are also emitting radiations to which we all are exposed. Okay. Even in the absence of an actual radioactive sources, we are exposed to these background radiation due to these internal sources. Now what are external sources, children? External sources are the radiations coming from the sun and entering into the earth's atmosphere, such as cosmic rays, naturally occurring radioactive elements such as radon 222, and solar radiations to which we all are exposed. So these are coming under the external sources, children. Children, see, it is not possible for us to keep ourselves away from the background radiations because we are all are exposed to it. It is not possible for us to keep away ourselves from these background radiations, but the total background radiations from both the internal and the external sources do not exceed the maximum permissible dose. That means there is a maximum permissible dose for human safety, and the maximum permissible dose, we are measuring it in sieverts, SV. Okay, we have decided, the scientists have decided a maximum permissible dose for the background radiations. If the sum of internal sources and external sources exceeds that permissible dose, then that person can have any short-term recoverable effects or long-term recoverable effects or genetic effects on his body, children. Okay, so because of these background radiation, we should not worry about these background radiation until unless they are in the permissible dose. If they exceed the permissible dose, then human body will have effect from these radiations also. Okay, children, now your work is to read now this chapter till page number 294. Okay, read it and make notes. Okay, children, and your work is to read and make notes. In the next video we will discuss the numericals of this. Bye, children.